Good day, Odooers. Welcome back to the course Mastering Odoo 12 Development. Now we are in the section 2. Have you done it the right way? In the previous videos, we were going through the project description to understand the requirements. Now we will turn them into the real application. Let's see what we will discuss in details. Using function fields, when and how. Utilizing the power of dynamic parameters in Odoo. Calling the SQL queries the right way. Handling time zone differences, tracking data changes carefully, using sudo the right way. Let's get started with using function fields to understand when and how. In front of you, these are the attributes that are specific to the function fields, and I assume that you already know them, so let's go quickly into them. So we have compute, we have inverse to specify how to write a function field. We have the function search to search for values of non-stored function fields. We have the store attribute to indicate whether the field should be stored in the database or not. We have compute sudo, so it is similar to compute, but the function will be executed under sudo rise. So before diving into the examples using the function fields, let's review our today's use cases and the possible solutions, as if we don't have such a definition of the function field. The first use case is our requirement number 3. For each project, let users specify a project manager on the customer side. So the customer has given us this requirement before starting doing anything. So let's start with the functional analysis. The customer project manager isn't necessarily working in the customer's company. As a fact, in many circumstances, this IT company, for which we will call X, often works with an agency rather than working directly with the customer. This agency provides the consulting service, project management service for the customer, while X provides the implementation service of the project. The customer project manager will work in the company of this agency. However, note that there are still cases where X works directly with the customer, and in these cases, the agency is also the customer. So let's continue with the technical analysis. So I would add a new field called agency, which links to the concept partner, and this field is added to the concept project. Note that we only allow the companies to be selected. Next, we also add a new field customer project manager to the concept of project, and this links to the partner as well. But this time, only the individuals are selectable. When a customer project manager is selected, automatically set the agency to the company of this person. On the other hand, if an agency is manually selected, check whether the current customer project manager belongs to this agency's company. If yes, leave it like that. If no, set the customer project manager with the first contact of the selected agency. So let's get started. Our first solution is to use API onchange. Let's take a look at the source code. So here it is. So we have the field customer PM ID defining here. Agency ID is here, and then we have two onchange functions. One for the customer PM ID. So when user set a value or remove a value for the customer PM ID, then we update the agency ID. So very simple. Okay. On the other hand, when we change the agency ID, then we need to have a bit more complex process. So we loop inside the projects, the current project, and so there are 3 cases like this one. Okay, so too simple. So let's take a look at the application to see how it works. Okay, so as you can see here, we have 2 new fields, customer project manager and agency, which is above the customer. So we will try some cases like we choose an agency. So the customer project manager is auto selected. So this is the first contact of this agency. So see here. On the other hand, if we choose a customer project manager, for example, I choose Edwin Hansen, the agency will be automatically set to his company. Okay. That's it, very simple. So let's get back to our presentation. However, using this solution, we have some limitations. The onchange method is only executed when the change is done on the UI. In another word, if a project is created by a piece of code, for example, through an API call or by a custom logic somewhere like creating a sales order would automatically create a project. For example, the onchange method is not triggered and hence the logic is not guaranteed to be applied. In these cases, the customer project manager and the agency must be explicitly set by a piece of code. Moreover, all the related fields, which in our case the customer project manager and the agency, must be present in the view. In some exceptional cases, this will be a hard constraint if we want to remove one of the fields from the view. And by saying remove here, I mean completely remove it from a view, not just hiding it using the attribute invisible. So when the company of a customer project manager is updated, the agency is not updated accordingly. However, this may be a desired behavior since a customer project manager can change his company. Why? For us, we want to respect the history. The second solution is to use the create and write function to handle the logic. Let's take a look at the code. So as you will see the code, I put many options here. Let's comment the first solution first, and then let's see the second one. Okay, so similar here, we define a normal agency ID field, and then we handle the logic in create and write. So the code is pretty long here for a simple logic, right? Here in the right, you also have the similar logic. You can see that here we have a context, ignore agency, which is set to true in order to avoid reject the value, because here you see that each time we change the customer project manager or the agency or both, we need to go through one write, and then in the process here it will be checked again and there is another write. In the second write, we don't want to perform the check again, so that's why we have this context here. Okay, there are some limitations using this solution. First one, as you can see, the source code looks a bit complex and long. In many cases, this solution is considered as over-engineering. Then users cannot see the related values changing on the fly. So you need to save it in order to see the values changing. And here it is, an elegant way to handle our requirement with a start function field. So let's take a look at the code. So let's comment this one first. Open the main one. Okay. The code is relatively similar to using the API onchange and is much shorter than using the create and write methods. Here, so you have the compute method for the agency as defined here. And because by default, the function field is read only. And so if you want the users to be able to update it, then you need to have an attribute inverse here. So this is the function to handle the updating of the agency information. Here you can see we have three cases like in the other solutions. So here you can see the star attribute is set to true, and if this is the case, you need to define the API depends here with a list of attributes, which when one of these fields is updated, this function field would be updated accordingly. Also note that the update trigger can be based on a field in another model. For example, see customer PMID.parent ID. So the parent ID here is actually located in the model of REST partner, not of project. However, as discussed earlier, this may be an unwanted feature in many business cases as we want to preserve the history. So if it is the case, then you can simply remove it. The advantage of a stored function field is that searching on that field is done by the database itself. The disadvantage is that it requires database updates when the field must be recomputed. So the requirement number 5 is about creating a search filter to list out the tasks which have the days to deadline equal or less than 2 days. So this is the way for X to detect the possible late task. Since this is fairly a simple requirement and we will finish it later in another video, so here we will not get too deep into the analysis now. However, let's write a draft technical analysis for it. So create a field to calculate the remaining days to deadline of each task. In each task, put a flag on if the remaining days is equal or less than 2 days. Use this flag to list out the possible late tasks. Let's see how we implement it with a non-start function fields. In this second use case, you may realize quickly that not only this field depends on another field, which is deadline, but also it will change from time to time, like you have to update it every day. As a result, it cannot be a store function field, because if you store it, you need to update it every day. The simplest solution is to make it a non-start function field. So let's go to project task. Here you can see the remaining day is calculated here. And this is the function do the calculation. Simple. Without store attribute or store equal to false, the function fields compute values on the fly, which means that while rendering the field which contains the function field, the methods are executed. By default, a function field is not stored in the database. One more thing to note is that non-stored function field needs search attribute to allow users to search for it, because instead of reading directly from the database, the method which is defined in the search attribute will be called, and the result of this method will be the result of the non-stored function field. So let's take a look at our requirement checklist. So we have finished the requirement number 3, and we are in the progress to finish the requirement number 5. So before going to the end of this video, let's review the solutions to calculate the value of a field based on the values of the other fields. To do this, we have many solutions. The first one and the most natural one is using function field. Secondly, we use the API onchange. A third option is to use the create and write methods. There are 2 other solutions which we didn't mention in our video, but they can be used in other cases, is by creating a button for users. For example, I put a button on the form view for users to click on it and update the field manually. Or the last option is to create a scheduler which will regularly update the function field. So this option of using a scheduler can be applied to requirement number 5 in our use case. So for each solution, I define their difficulty level, the update frequency, and the performance impact. And so for function field, the difficulty level is easy. It is also easy using API onchange. If you want to override the create and write methods, it's a bit more difficult, complex, and somehow long to do. Using a button is also easy, and using a scheduler is medium level. The update frequency for function field and API onchange, it is real time. So as the users update something on the form view, they can see the immediate results. When using the create and write method, just nearly real time, you need to save it in order to see the changes. Using the button is really manually, and it is controlled by the users. Whenever he pushes a button, then the value will be calculated. And using the scheduler, it depends on the execution period of that scheduler. The impact on the performance. As you can see, using function field and API onchange is easy. However, they imply a high impact on the performance of the system, so be cautious when using them. On the other hand, if you use the other solutions like create write methods, using the button or using the scheduler, the impact on the performance will be lower depending on how you implement the solution in case by case. So conclusion. So when to use the non-start compute field, the first case is that you do not need to search on this field. If you do need to search on this field, remember to define the attribute search. The second case is that when the formula is not too complicated or not using too many ORM functions, then you can use the non-start compute field. Because if you use too many ORM functions in a function field, then it will slow down the system.